You're tuned to WJBD, Salem, Centralia.
From the depths of radio nothingness comes Radio Nowhere.
This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there?
WJBD is proud to permit Radio Nowhere.
All right, we're back.
And welcome back to Radio Nowhere.
Where were we last week? Nowhere?
We were nowhere. But we're back this week. We found somewhere.
And something.
And something. And someone. I'm Matt Donahoe.
I'm Steve Stein.
And this is Radio Nowhere. And we weren't here last week, but we are here this week. And we are here playing the type of music you don't normally hear on this radio station. And maybe songs you don't even hear on other radio stations, or at least not that often. And that is kind of our manifesto, our motto.
Kind of.
Kind of. And, Steve, what songs did we just hear?
Honestly, I haven't been paying attention.
Sell it, Steve.
I tried.
Sell it. Sell it.
It was good stuff.
Sell the
really
professionalism there.
It's fantastic.
Before,
you enjoyed it.
Okay, the song we just heard was a song called Just by the band Radiohead.
Hmm?
And before that, we heard a song called The Good Fight by a band called We Landed on the Moon.
Oh, yeah, those songs. Yeah. Now I know.
And let me tell you a story here real quick, Steve.
Okay.
I had an opportunity to meet, and they have broken up now, but I saw We Landed on the Moon in concert, and I got an opportunity to meet the lead singer, and she was telling us where the band got the name from.
Okay.
Do you know where the band got the name from?
The fact that we landed on the moon?
No. I mean, yes, I guess technically.
No, I do not know.
Guess. It's from a movie.
Apollo 13.
No, good guess. Dumb and Dumber.
Really?
Do you remember the scene where Jim Carrey is in the bar and he walks out and there's like a framed picture of a newspaper on the wall and it says, moon landing?
No, I don't remember that.
It's the moon landing one. And he turns around and he goes, "We landed on the moon? No way."
Mm-mm.
And
I haven't seen that movie in a while, though.
Well, that's where they got the name from.
That's kind of obscure.
And kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And dumber. Get it? Dumb and...
Two.
Well, and that fits our theme for the night, which is what, Steve?
Great bands, stupid names.
Great bands, stupid names. And so you're going to hear some good songs tonight. But We Landed on the Moon and Radiohead, those are dumb names. Those are great bands. Radiohead's kind of a critical darling, but that band name is just kind of dumb. Steve, do you have any personal bands that you think are dumb, like with their name?
One that just pops into mind would be Johnny Hates Jazz.
Yeah. What'd they do? Shattered Dreams?
Shattered Dreams and Turn Back the Clock.
Turn Back the Clock, yeah. I heard Shattered Dreams on the air the other day. I don't know what radio station it was. And I thought that they were kind of dead and buried.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny Hates Jazz is pretty bad. Because they weren't exactly like a rock band. I mean, they were kind of a smooth, light, AC, light, adult contemporary.
But apparently they hate jazz.
But they hate jazz.
Johnny does.
Johnny does. And I don't know that there's a Johnny in the band.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Got any others?
Weezer.
Mm-hmm. That is pretty stupid, actually.
Yeah,
and I really like Weezer.
Yeah. But what kind of name is that?
I know. It's like an old man's band.
I got another one.
They're wheezy. What?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
Yes. Wasn't that the band name?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
They did
Relax.
Relax and, what is it, Two Tribes.
Yes.
Yeah. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And you know what kind of spurred this on? I was listening to an 80s satellite feed of some music the other day. And there was a band called Haircut 100. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
yes.
Do you remember the song they had?
Not off the top of my head, but as soon as you tell me, it's going to...
Love Plus One.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, and it's not like that to me anyway, that is not a really good song anyway.
No.
But I was looking at that, and it on the TV it displays like the artist and the band, or the artist and the song name. And it said Love Plus One, Haircut 100. And I told my wife, I said, which one of those is supposed to be the band name? Because, I mean, either one of those is a stupid band name.
Right.
Love Plus One, Haircut 100.
Yeah.
I mean, Flock of Seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was, I mean, Thompson Twins, right? Weren't they a trio of Ben Folds 5? Which the lead singer is Ben Folds, but there's 3 people in that outfit.
Right.
And
Limp Biscuit.
Limp Biscuit, and it's
That sounds
spelled
delicious.
spelled with the Z, Bizkit, right?
Yes. I wonder if Donnie's has a Limp Biscuit. No, theirs would be hard.
At what?
Donnie's Biscuits.
At Donnie's Biscuits?
Yeah.
I'm getting them confused now because John's Biscuit Emporium.
John's are fresh.
Here in town. They do the fresh ones.
But Donnie's are the rock hard.
They're the rock hard
Yeah.
ones, yeah. But, and we want to thank, of course, John's Biscuit Emporium for being our sponsor and letting us talk about these bands with dumb names. Mm-hmm. And I've got one. And Steve, this is one of my favorites.
Okay.
In Excess.
Yeah.
Do you like In Excess, don't you?
When they were big, I didn't care for them, but I've grown to...
Really?
Yeah, I've kind of grown to like them a little bit.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah.
Because honestly, I would have said that you were a big fan all these years.
No, I remember when they were big, like
Right.
getting... Like, what was the big album they had? It was...
Well, the big one was Kick.
Kick.
And then when we were in high school, X came out with like Suicide Blonde on it and the
Well,
Stairs.
I remember getting Kick for like a birthday or Christmas or something. I was actually kind of disappointed. It's like,
Are you serious?
Seriously, yeah.
Kick is the one that has Mediate on it
Yes.
and Mystify and
Right.
Never Tear Us Apart.
Right.
And that is one of, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums ever.
Yeah, I wasn't real impressed at the time.
Seriously?
Seriously, I am dead serious.
That's shocking to me. Because, see, I had this whole other thing I was going to ask you about In Excess, and now I don't think you'll care about it.
Probably not.
They had a movie made about them, a TV movie in Australia made about them.
It seems like I vaguely remember that.
And it was released earlier in the year, and I got a chance to see it on Showtime here in the last month or so.
Okay.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's bad. And because it's not a documentary, it's like a bad soap opera.
Oh, good.
And it's all this like real stilted dialogue about how we're a band. We're in it for the music, not the money. You just want us to make money. Oh, it's so bad. You would like it less than you liked your birthday present.
Well, that's saying something, I guess.
Well, In Excess, of course, is spelled INXS, so it's even got that cutesy spelling to it. But in my opinion, maybe not Steve's, they're a great band. And here's one of their hits from way back. It's Don't Change on Radio Nowhere. Radio Nowhere. The song is called Grounds for Divorce.
Did he say something about sometime we will be drinking with the sound of some kid?
With the seldom seen kid. Someday we'll be drinking with the seldom seen kid, which is actually the name of the album, The Seldom Seen Kid.
Okay.
The song is Grounds for Divorce, but Steve, the topic tonight is Great Band, Terrible Name. Mm-hmm. What is the name of that band?
I don't have a clue.
Okay.
You brought the CD.
I know, but I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I don't know.
That is a band called Elbow.
Wow. What a name.
And I love that song. I think that song is fantastic. And they've got other really, really cool songs, but what a name.
I'm
Elbow.
going to a concert tonight. Oh, really? Who are you going to go see? Elbow. Have fun.
Yeah, they hurt themselves. They're funny bone. So, great band, dumb name. Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
As you mentioned earlier.
2-0.
T-O, right?
Or maybe it's just T-O.
Yeah, I think it's like Dumb and Dumber 2, which is dumber.
Yes.
So, what do you think of Dumb and Dumber 2?
There's things in the preview that I have to admit look kind of funny, but I don't know.
They're looking old.
Yeah, yes, they are.
And it was one thing when they were a couple 20-something guys running around being stupid.
Right.
And now they're a couple 40-something guys running around being stupid.
Well, Jeff Daniels especially. I mean, he looks rough.
I mean, imagine a couple guys in their 40s still doing the same stupid thing they did when they were teenagers.
Mm-hmm. I do like in the preview, though, where Jim Carrey is...
You're missing the connection between us here, Steve.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, go ahead then.
Where he's in the wheelchair and, for 20 years or whatever he says that he hasn't spoken. The whole thing was a gag. That's kind of funny.
That is funny. And I'll see it, and I've always said about Dumb and Dumber, and I'll say it about Dumb and Dumber 2. If you go see it and you don't like it, you have only yourself to blame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's laying it out there in the title. You're seeing a dumb movie.
Pretty much.
Also on movies, you've been dying to talk about this all night, so let's have it.
Okay. As many people, well, as you know, because you sent it to me.
Yes.
The Avengers Age of Ultron trailer or teaser is out.
And do you know the story about the trailer being released?
All I know is it was supposed to be on the next Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the next thing I know, you're sending me the link to it, so that's all I know.
Well, here's what happened. And warning, there is one cuss word in this story, but it's part of the story.
Okay.
They put out on the TV show, which ties into the big Marvel comic book universe, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they put out, we'll be airing the preview for Avengers Age of Ultron next Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And so that's this coming Tuesday. That was supposed to be shown everywhere on television.
Right.
And then the trailer got leaked online.
Okay.
And then Marvel went ahead and decided, well, since it's already out there, we'll officially release it online. And they released like a high-def, high-quality copy of it online. Mm-hmm. And do you know who the bad guys are in those movies? Like the agency they're fighting? On the Marvel show and on Avengers?
Well, I mean, I assume we're talking about, is it...
It's Hydra.
Hydra, thank you.
Hydra. Hydra is the name of the villains, that the villainous group. So between the end of the episode where it said, tune in next week for the Avengers sneak preview, and then this bootleg got released.
Hydra leaked it, didn't they?
Well, Marvel, this is the swear word as I promised. There was a tweet from Marvel Studios that just said, damn it, Hydra.
Nice.
So they were actually blaming Hydra for the leak, and then they went ahead and put out the official version as well.
Nice.
So what'd you think of the preview?
I think it looks pretty good.
That's it? Just pretty good?
Yeah.
No, I think it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
And it's been building towards this big stuff, and then it looks like it's going to build towards more.
And we have to wait till May.
Was it May or the end of April?
I thought it was May, but maybe not.
Maybe it is May. Now, you had some questions about this, and I was going to offer my comic book geekiness. Mm-hmm. So let's have it.
I'm trying to remember what my questions were. That was...
Well, okay, the movie is called Avengers Age of Ultron.
Right.
And
not Voltron.
Not Voltron, which would be its own thing.
Yeah, that'd be totally different.
But this is Age of Ultron, where it looks like they are fighting a robot named Ultron.
That apparently Tony Stark creates?
That Tony Stark creates, yes.
Okay.
Tony Stark creates a robot, and it goes haywire. And if you've seen the movies, he has that, what you would call, what would you call it? Artificial intelligence thing called Jarvis. Mm-hmm. And it's something like that goes awry.
So is, just from what you can tell me from the comic books, I mean, does it go awry, or does it get taken over by something, or what?
Okay, well, actually, and now we're geeking out here. actually, in the comics, Tony Stark doesn't invent it. Hank Pym actually invents it, but they wanted to go ahead and put it in this movie, so they had Tony Stark invent it.
Okay.
And they're introducing Hank Pym later. Do you know who he is?
Is he Ant-Man?
He is Ant-Man. Very good. Steve, you get a gold star.
Wow, thanks.
A geeky gold star.
Thanks.
So he invents this robot, and it apparently goes awry and starts causing chaos. And it looks like it's causing chaos with the help of two new superheroes, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Which,
They were actually in the last X-Men movie,
yes,
but different actors.
different actors, and that's a whole different movie universe.
Well, they showed up in the end of Winter Soldier too, didn't they?
Yeah, now at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier, they have an after-credits scene that introduces Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. You just get a glimpse. Quicksilver has super speed, and Scarlet Witch has some kind of weird reality-altering powers. I mean, in the comics, they flat-out call it magic. Who knows what they're going to call it in the movies? And you were saying that even after Avengers 2, there's more Marvel goodness to look forward to, Steve.
Oh yeah.
And what is that?
Well, they've just recently said that on Captain America 3, that Robert Downey Jr. is also going to be involved in that.
As Tony Stark
As
again.
Tony Stark and Iron Man. So that's exciting.
And you were going to ask about a little bit of the setup for that, right?
Right. Because it's what, entitled Civil War or something like, or
Okay, yeah, it's no, you're right, it's Civil War. And in the comics, this is my comic geekiness coming out here. So in the comics, and I'm oversimplifying, but there was this big government push for heroes to unmask, and Tony Stark supported it. Captain America did not support it, and the two kind of had a big falling out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, there aren't enough superheroes really to unmask in the Marvel movies, but if they're following the Civil War storyline, it looks like maybe Tony Stark and Captain America are going to be at odds with each other after maybe even this movie. I mean, if Tony Stark invents Ultron and things go awry, then I don't think him and Cap weren't always the best friends anyway.
right.
So, they're looking at Marvel movies for the next 10 years.
I was going to say, I know they put out a schedule. What is it, through 2018?
It's something ridiculous like that,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, and what's the highlight of the Avengers preview, Steve?
Iron Man and his Hulk-busting huge armor.
Yeah, armor to fight the Incredible Hulk.
Something else, too, I was reading just recently was something along the lines of Marvel has... I don't remember exactly how they put it, but basically trying to get all writers and everybody to stop writing any type of Marvel storylines for any of the other studios, like Spider-Man and...
Okay, yeah. And this is a real weird legal thing. And here's what happened. Back in the 90s, Marvel was bankrupt. So to get some cash, they licensed some of their characters to other studios. Spider-Man went to Sony, X-Men and Fantastic Four went to Fox.
Right.
And they have these deals in place. And now, of course, Marvel is its own thing. Well, it was bought by Disney. And, of course, they're very successful. But when you see an X-Men movie, when you see a Spider-Man movie, it is actually not a Marvel, so to speak, movie.
Right.
And because of that, Marvel, the comics, and its whole publicity division has kind of stopped promoting. I mean, they're canceling the Fantastic Four comic book because Fox has the movie. And X-Men, they have a deal with Fox where any X-Men who were created become, not property, but become available to movies.
Okay.
So, in other words, a guy comes in with this great idea for a new superhero and says, okay, he's a mutant, he's in the X-Men. That automatically goes to Fox and doesn't stay in-house with Marvel for the movies.
Okay.
So, yeah, they've kind of put a hold on making, it's this whole legal mumbo-jumbo, and that's why Wolverine, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four aren't in any of the Avengers movies.
And I'm sure they absolutely love that fact.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Marvel loves the fact that years ago they had to sell out to keep themselves afloat. Mm-hmm. But, Thanos, Doctor Doom, Magneto, all those guys couldn't stop the superheroes, but apparently Red Tape can.
Yes.
So that's why we won't ever see a huge, huge team up.
Is it time for weather?
It is time for weather, and it is brought to you by John's Biscuit Emporium.
Yay.
Hello.
Hi there, very good pal of mine. It is so fortuitous that we can have natural and casual conversations about all manner of things. Biscuits even.
Do you mean the nummy, only fresh biscuits of John's Biscuit Emporium?
Yes, dude, those never ever day old biscuits are a fine quality food product for eating. Be confident in those biscuits from John's Biscuit Emporium.
True dat, biscuit eater buddy. But how might I eat such a fine, hot, fresh, only just baked biscuit item?
Verily, you must put the biscuit in your mouths and chew up them. Please heed my unblinking wisdom. You cannot consume biscuits intravenously.
Nor can you eat them with your knee or your ear. And hugging your biscuit is simply not proper, almost uncouth. A pat or a thumbs up, maybe.
I thumb up all the racks when I go there.
Everyone knows where and how to arrive at John's Biscuit Emporium in Salem. Feet, car, bike, scoot on your back. Follow the delicious freshness downtown to John's. Fly to the moon on the delectable wings of a biscuit and never come home.
I know I can go to John's Biscuit Emporium in Salem for fresh biscuit and nothing else besides.
My confidence in these eaten biscuits abounds.
You magnificent biscuit, I read your book.
And now, Steve bringing us the weather in a segment we like to call
Steve bringing us
Weather with Steve.
Yeah.
Yep, go.
The rest of the morning, looks like we're going to have a low of 47 with patchy fog. Tomorrow morning, we're going, Sunday.
The rest of this
patchy
day.
fog with a high
This
of
is Sunday.
75. So it's going to be another nice day. Mm-hmm. Sunday night, mostly clear, low 60. Monday, breezy, and then my screensaver just kicked on. Breezy and a high of 82. Monday night looks like we've got some rain rolling in, a low of 61. A little cooler for Tuesday with rain, 68. And then it looks like it's going to cool off dramatically for Wednesday with a high of 59. And it looks like extended forecast through next week. Looks like it's going to remain cool. Highs in the low 60s to high 50s. And, it's going to get chilly. It's that time of year, I guess. Can you imagine? On a little forecast note,
Okay.
Just note,
Okay, I'm noting.
Thanksgiving is a month away.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's your forecast with Steve.
All right. Well, we're back to Radio Nowhere here. And, Steve, the theme is?
Awesome band's stupid name.
And this is a song called Mighty KC by a band called For Squirrels. Not For Squirrels, like the number, but FOR, for squirrels.
Here, I give this to the squirrels.
To the squirrels.
It's for the squirrels every morning.
Music for Squirrels on Radio Nowhere. Radio Nowhere, do you realize? And continuing our trend of a great band, dumb name. That band, Steve, do you recognize them?
No.
That's the Flaming Lips.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, no, I know you've heard of them, but stupid name, Flaming Lips. So we spent a lot of time on talking about, mainly me, talking about the geeky Avengers stuff. I'm a proud geek, by the way. I don't use nerd or geek in a negative term. I am proudly a geek.
As you say with your Batman shirt on.
Actually, I don't have my Batman shirt on right now. I have a Fantasy Football League shirt on right now. But not fantasy in the me. In other words, like I've made up a team that I follow. Fantasy is in it is teams named after fantastical creatures like Krakens, Sasquatches, and things like that. So I'm geeking out tonight, buddy.
That's great.
Well, luckily you don't geek out about anything, right?
No.
No, nothing?
Not usually.
Not usually?
Nah.
Really? I figured you'd be excited about the new Ghostbusters movie coming out.
Not so much.
Steve, Ghostbusters is a classic.
It is.
And now they're making a new
And
one.
now
You
they're
should be
going to
excited.
destroy it.
I'm excited over the new Avengers movie.
They're
You should
going
be-
to destroy anything
You're-
that was once great and grand.
You
and
love
fine.
Ghostbusters. You love Ghostbusters 2. You're going to love Ghostbusters 3.
I won't,
Why not?
because it's the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Okay.
Okay, well, first of all, for years there's been talk of Ghostbusters 3. Will Bill Murray do it? Yes, he's in. No, he's out. All this stuff, and then Harold Ramis dies, and
Right.
I mean that kind of puts a damper on everything.
And you always kind of got the impression that Bill Murray didn't really want to do it.
Yeah, but Ivan Reitman was going to be involved in everything from the the originals, the writer and director, and all that stuff.
Sure.
And now he says, "Yeah, I'll be a consultant or whatever, but I don't want anything to do with it." And now they've come up with this harebrained idea. I mean, they've already said, yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Now they have this harebrained idea that they're going to be, the new Ghostbusters are going to all be women.
And why don't you like that, Steve? Are you sexist?
I'm not at all. But
But okay, I know, and I know you're not. And that was a setup, because do you know who is sexist? Whoever is putting together this movie.
okay,
Because, well, I mean, think about that. Why doesn't it just say, okay, it's going to be an all-new cast?
true.
Instead, it's an all-new cast of women. I mean, they're treating it like a gimmick.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
it is a gimmick.
And you know what I mean? It's like, look what we've done. I mean, and I'm completely fine. I'm with you. I don't think there should be another one, full stop. Women, men, whatever. But
Well-
the way they're doing it seems really gimmicky.
Yeah, and it's just totally going to alienate the original. I mean, why? If you love the originals, what is going to draw you to this movie? I mean, just the name Ghostbusters. You can be like, oh yeah, and then you're going to be very disappointed if you know nothing.
And they're going to have, let's see, who's the band that could remake Ghostbusters, the original song? Who's like a hot band, like Maroon 5 is going to remake the Ghostbusters
Yeah, that
theme.
would really draw me into it.
Oh, but wait, it's going to be all female, so we'd have to get like Lady Gaga to do the theme or
that
something
would
like
be great.
that,
Fergie
right?
and whoever.
So, so you're not excited at all.
I'm not at all. Is the new Ecto one going to be like a pink Cadillac? Or
There you
something
go. I mean,
stupid?
they've got to try to make it as sexist as possible. Yeah, and you know who's to blame for all this?
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd used to be a funny guy, but he is obsessed with bringing back Ghostbusters. We talked about Avengers earlier. He said in an interview he wants to make the Ghostbusters into an Avengers-like thing, where there's a TV show, a movie, flashbacks of what they were like in high school and college, and all kinds of franchises all over the world, and comics and cartoons. Is right. Is right. I was setting you up. I'm right with you on this one. And they could bring in the funniest female actresses performing, that are currently like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy. 4 very, very funny people, 4 very funny actresses. Doesn't mean it's going to be a good show.
No.
Is it?
No.
So I'm with you. Are you
I mean,
gonna,
that's what made Ghostbusters was the original cast chemistry. I mean, it was just, the first one, just classic. I mean, just second one, not so much. I mean, it had its moments.
had its moments.
But
And you know what? Real quick, let me interrupt real quick. I read a fantastic interview, and it was from either Ivan Reitman or Bill Murray, who said that for Ghostbusters 2, they made 3/4 of a great movie.
yeah, and then the Statue of Liberty started walking.
Yeah, and that's what they meant as the end. And I have to agree. There's really nothing wrong with most of that movie.
Right.
But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
yeah, but yeah, it just the chemistry between them. I mean, that was what made it really work. And Why try to recreate that? I mean,
And gimmicky and
Yeah.
sexist.
Yeah.
Oh, so there'll be a Stay Puft Marshmallow Woman. Ugh.
great.
So we're saying thumbs up to Avengers, maybe to Dumb and Dumber 2, and
Yeah.
thumbs down to Ghostbusters.
Absolutely.
And we don't even need to see a preview for it to know that
Bad.
Let's going to wrap things up
Already?
already. Closing in on 1 o'clock, the end of another Radio Nowhere.
And we hope, and going on with our show title, our tonight, our show theme.
Great band, dumb name.
Yeah, hopefully, if anything, people think we have a dumb name, but great show. I mean, I can live with that.
I can too. If they think our name's dumb, that's fine.
I'm good with that.
But hopefully they like our show. And we're going to end with the classic band with the dumb name, the Beatles. Because it's spelled B-E-A-T, like the beat. And yeah, exactly. So it's kind of the classic dumb name, great band. So it's Matt Donahoe.
And Steve Stein.
This is Radio Nowhere. If you like what you heard,
Tell a friend.
and if you don't like what you heard,
Don't tell anyone. And like us on Facebook, WJBD Radio Nowhere.
and don't tell anyone ever.
Ever.
WJBD Salem Centralia.
This has been an I Love Raisins production.